freelancer.
Praxley,
Listen, there's trouble. Big trouble.
what did you do?
I made a mistake. I hired some people.
EA Games.
So don't you guys just love EA? I mean, it's such a great company. I mean, they're player-focused. They are great about not going too far into microtransactions. They are really supportive of their developers to be the best possible. Oh God, you know what? That was painful. I mean, I had an entire joke lined up about how EA is a great company. It was just, no, just the level of bullshit became physically painful. I'm just, ugh. For anyone not aware of the new news, a lot of developers at Bioware, a company under EA or affiliated or associated, take your pick, they are, I think the term is, abandoning ship. Yeah, this is disturbing news because the game that everything in Bioware has been working to lately has been Anthem. The game that is being sold as what Destiny should have been year one, without any of the bullshit, without any of the problems. And the trailer they put up at E3 looks, I'll be honest, if that was just a demo, I would have played it nonstop because it looked really cool. Had interesting movement, had an open world that seemed seamless, and it was a really interesting take on just a large, dynamic setup. And just because there were random creatures in there that were interacting with other creatures similar to Monster World, and just the comparison alone makes me think the game is better because Monster World is amazing for what it is. And then the news started to come out that, well, in no specific order, Anthem was being delayed. So it's not going to be this year, it's going to be next year. There's many writers leaving, there's production leads leaving Bioware. The game is focusing to become Bioware's new flagship because they're taking people off the next Dragon Age title, putting them onto Anthem. And there's much about that I'm going to go into in a second. But it is so incredibly nerve-wracking for someone who actually loves Bioware content. The Dragon Age games, that entire franchise is really good. I had issues with some of Third's second half. The story wasn't as tight and compelling as the first half, and the ending boss battle was literally just the, hey, if you want an actual boss battle, buy the DLC. There are so many things going on right now, and BioWare is not in a good position. EA has a record of, I think the term is corporate raiding. They will go into a game company, take it over, offer the support they need to develop the game, but then push for a games-as-service model. Basically, you get microtransactions. They want to become Rockstar. That's literally what it is right now. They want to be Rockstar. They want that. Before, it was you get a game a year, and then you get a game the next year, and then you get a game the next year of the series. It was the Call of Duty model. It was the Assassin's Creed model. Those models, they didn't work out too well because it was really hard, and games suffered. Now, there were games that were good in those franchises. For example, Assassin's Creed Origin, which is great because it completely threw the yearly release game-as-service model out. It's just a good game. They took a while and it's good. Thing is, that is not Bioware, that is not EA. But it did show exactly what is wrong by doing the complete opposite. Unfortunately, that doesn't make nearly as much money as a highly predatory microtransaction-based game, which is literally all the new Call of Duty game is. Is it a good game? Yeah, sure, it's solid. I've heard it's basically the previous Call of Duties, but shinier, prettier, and microtransaction-ier. If that's not a word, it should be now. What this means for BioWare, though, is that is what they are under. They have their EA masterminds, and now I'm not going to say EA is evil. They've done good things. I was actually trying to think of one, but I'm kind of coming up short. Yeah, that's actually a little embarrassing. I'm sure they've done good things. Yeah, if you know something EA's done that's good, put a link down below. They did Star Wars, Moving on. The reason you should be worried, though, is because not only is this really risking the company, but there has been, emphasis recently that's been released that Anthem is a massive deal for Bioware as a game and as a product of the company. If this fails, there is a very good chance, not a certainty, but a unfortunately likely chance that EA might axe Bioware, which would, in extension, axe the franchises of some really damn good games. Mass Effect, which after Andromeda, we kind of already knew was on hiatus permanently because that was one of the releases. So they'll never come back unless someone else buys the rights. And then it'll also knock off anything to do with Dragon Age. So we're never going to get another one unless someone else buys the rights. And that's less likely. Because when a franchise dies, very few times does it come back. Duke Nukem doesn't count because we don't acknowledge there was a second game, which there wasn't. This is honestly a very annoying problem because I like BioWare stuff, but between the mix of, well, everyone's leaving, and our previous game was at Mass Effect Andromeda, and EA's track record over the last year, you just have to ask yourself, do you trust that what's going to happen won't be a problem?
No.
As a fanboy, I want to say, yeah, I think they'll do great. I'll buy the game, it'll do fine, it'll completely regain all my trust. But as a realist, that's not as easy to say. Right now, people are fleeing BioWare. It's not a lot of turnover, but it's significant turnover in a short amount of time when the game has already been delayed, and they've brought in people from other projects, other flagship projects, to try and make this work better. At the same time, it could be a bunch of smoke because this ship is on fire, the lower floors are filled with water, and someone spray painted Titanic on the side as they were jumping off the ship. Very talented artist there. It could be pretty bad. So, yeah, if no more bad news comes out, maybe things have stabilized and the game can continue. But for what it's worth, don't pre-order the game. We might not see BioWare by the end of the year, because that is kind of EA's MO as well. If you're not going to get on board with their plan, and if you're not going to make the money now, too bad. Yeah, I was actually planning to see if there was a silver lining to this, and I actually had an idea in mind, and halfway through I just convinced myself there wasn't, so I didn't say it. Wait and hope, guys. I really am hoping this game will work out, that all the technical difficulties right now, all the personnel drama will work out, and that EA won't pull the plug on the entire studio because it doesn't look like they're going to get their quick buck fast enough. And when it comes to EA, it's EA. They somehow actually, and this is unfortunately true, in a ranking of the most hated companies in America, they beat out Comcast. Yeah, Comcast, the company that makes Verizon look less evil. And somehow EA was hated more. That's not right. That is really fucked up. As well as everyone. If you have any news, please let it be good news. Tell me down below, because I would really like that right now. But in the meantime, let's hope for the best. I really do want this game to succeed. I want Anthem to be good. I want BioWare to go forward and get rid of the stigma from Andromeda and the ending of 3 and some of the bullshit with Inquisition. Okay, there's a lot of things that need to work on. Wow. So thanks for watching, everyone, and let's hope for some good news. Later.